Hi, and welcome to Cockatoos with Attitude.
Hello.
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 Sweet birdies.
See? Well, these buttons are too close together. I'm trying to switch the camera. There we go. We have. I hit telephoto. Oh boy. See what
You're
happens?
off a
You take a
photo.
yeah. You take a gallon. You can't work your hands anymore. Here we go. Nope. I did it again. I have the movie up there, and it's not showing it. We have Cecil with us today, and KK, Lucy,
Goose goose.
Lucy Bird, Sugar, Snowball, Jasmine, and Mander. Romeo wouldn't come out. He's happy, but he was too happy in his box chewing, so
Well,
he
that's
wasn't
his
avoiding
favorite.
it. Huh?
That's his favorite thing in the world, to be chewing inside a box. So.
Yeah, before you couldn't get him to do anything. He would just sit there like a lump. So I'm glad he's busy, but wish he would come out with us. I mean, I could take his box out of there, but then he gets really upset. So
Well, he's been doing well lately. You don't want to upset him.
no, not particularly. Diesel's doing better too. We've got enough medicine to last us about 3 months at this point, and I've got to. Some of them I'm going to have to change their dosage to once every 5 days, but I got to study that protocol again because there is a certain point when you switch them to 5 days. Dr. Grassi says that you never go past 7. So um, I know that Dahlhausen says you can go like to 2 weeks or whatever, but Grassi says that doesn't work. So we'll stick with the lower one. So the least they will get the medicine when they're not showing any signs and they look good. Unfortunately, I can't do testing every time. You don't have a testing facility next door, so um, when everything looks like it's going well, the droppings are okay, whatever the visible problems they had are shrinking or gone, and you can start to give the medicine a little less frequently. So. Right, Sugar? Today we're going to be talking about bringing in a new bird into the flock. So there's a lot of considerations there. So, and it's not just getting the cage, the environment, making sure they have food they'll eat. That's part of it, but that's not the big part. The big part is you have a new personality to deal with. And how are you going to approach it? This one here, when he flew all the way down from Alaska, I talked nice to him in the van when he was sitting next to me in the cage for an hour and a half on the way back. And then I stopped and got French fries without salt and offered him one of those. And that seemed to endear him to me a little bit. The fact that the first time he stepped out into the world, he was getting a French fry. But some birds may not like those. It won't work for everybody. So I got lucky with that one. But he should be here shortly after we conclude our live today. So
So it's very exciting.
it is. It is. It always is. You don't know what you're getting. Yeah. A lot of it's. I get a kick out of a lot of people. Oh, I'm excited. I'm getting a new bird. Well, I am more reserved than excited. I'm going to approach him carefully and try to start establishing a bond of trust. Observe his behavior, and I'm not going to pay much attention. There's a thing too to keep in mind. You can be told a lot of things about a bird. Now, it might be true where they are, but when they get to you, their behavior might be quite different. Might be quite different, right? Um, A good example is that Mander. I was told he never went in his cage. He slept out of it. He climbed on the top of his cage and he climbed other places, but he never. Now he likes being in the cage. So um, what I was told isn't exactly how he behaves here. So you listen, you nod your head, like, "Oh, thank you for the information," and then you watch the behavior. Don't let that stuff stick in your head either, because if you get the idea that a bird will like bite your ears, so you don't want them on your shoulder, which is what I was told about that one over there, that little jazzy bird, then you'll be nervous when they get on your shoulder and you'll start moving your ear around. Well, that's good. That's like saying, well, that bull doesn't like it when you wave a red flag. Right? So you're nervous holding the red flag and you start waving it around. Well, you're asking for trouble. So I just stayed calm, and she once in a while will try to get my attention like all the birds, but she's never bitten my ear. So now I'm not saying she didn't do that where she was, but you know, we don't all act the same. Like Bob. Bob Bob is he's a different bird inside. That's right, Sweeney. That's right. He's a different bird in his cage than he is out here. So just like Sunny's a different, it's a different child when there's no phone around. Um,
Do we
right?
have time to greet some chatters?
Sure.
Because the chat is full. So I think I better start out. First one was Tiki Tiki. Then we have Jocelyn Drickle, Rose Bud Atkins, Richie Cockatoo, Spirit Matter, Falcon Sue, Jem and Jamie is here with us. Oh, she's a member for 43 months now, so thanks for that.
Wow, that's
Well,
amazing.
Thank you.
Then Calvin Thurston is here with us. Lisa Banerjee is here. And let's see, have we someone more? No, that are chatters so far. So
Cool.
thank you so much for coming by. And we had already a little couple of questions. Richie Cockatoo would like to know what platform you use. So I answered it's StreamYard, what we use for the live stream. And Rosebud is interested what the new cockatoo's name is. I just sent it the emojis in chat so far.
People can
Mango.
guess.
Mango. Interesting name. Name a bird after a fruit. But
It seems quite common.
Yeah, cocoa, peaches, mango, banana.
Banana.
I haven't found someone who is named banana so far, but I would if I could probably. I think the B in Babaloo stands for banana.
Could be. He's certainly bananas.
Yeah, yes, he is. He's a little on the crazy side, but he's a sweet bird when he wants to be.
And Rosebud inquires what the movie clue or quote for today is.
Let me wait till it rolls around here again. There it is. In this world, you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. Well, for years I was smart. I recommend pleasant. It's a good movie for times of year when you or any time when you want something to lift your spirits up a little bit. So the biggest mistake you can make is believing the relinquishment story. Don't don't believe it. I mean, don't consider them liars, but don't believe it's going to have any effect on you. So you get warned. You know, Jasmine, don't let her sit on your shoulder. She bites. Okay, that was not true, and I ignored it. Now it could have been true. It might have happened, but I wasn't looking for it and it didn't happen. So I think that looking for something often makes it happen too in your life. If you're always looking for something to go wrong, well, you'll get blessed with it. That's for sure. So, of course, there's what Benjamin Franklin said. He says, if always expect the worst. That's that way when it doesn't happen, you're pleasantly surprised. But I don't tend to do that with these guys because they really are by nature just gentle beings. It just takes a while to bring it out. This one up here is a good example. He used to go after Mander, and Pinkbird meant attack, attack. Now he's what? Almost 3 feet, 2.5 feet away from Sugar, and he's more interested in the sounds of the crows. But that he would never have allowed that before. He would have not allowed any other bird that close to him that was pink. So he's sort of a speciesist, It's I'm for my own species, and that's it. But I guess we should expect that he's a white male, right? Laughter in the background. I know we've got a laugh track, but I'm not going there today. So the first thing is to ignore that because what you're going to be watching, bear with me. This coat, it's hard to see my watch. That's where I keep my notes to make sure I don't forget something. So sometimes what they say you may find it's true. When they tell you that they like almonds, well, that's likely to be true. Although you may find out they prefer cashews, you can't. But at the time that they were with the other person, they were eating almonds, and that was their favorite thing. So maybe they weren't exposed to cashews or walnuts or something. Um, so when you start having these expectations that a bird is going to behave a certain way, you're putting a mold on them. When I was taking my ABA classes, Dr. Friedman said, "Don't do that. Don't take something and lock it in concrete because behavior never gets locked in concrete." Um, you know, what? What? Cecil, what do you see?
Is it a
I don't.
mango?
No, I don't think so. I think what he's seeing is a hawk, because that's
Mhm.
more of his hawk call. You see anything there, big dude? AK? You see anything? I don't know. Cecil's getting away from there, so whatever he saw, he didn't like. So sometimes what you're told is just incomplete. Sometimes, it's been skewed by guilt, or the person's exhausted trying to deal with a bird, or just plain misunderstanding the behavior. Um, and if you haven't got the idea that behavior is a function of the consequences, right? You go to work because you get the paycheck, and you might do it also for personal fulfillment and stuff. But there's always some kind of reward for what you're doing, or you don't do it, right? You just don't go outside and beat on the side of a tree with a hammer for fun. Oh, yeah, there goes one of those ravens holding something. Um, what are you doing, dumping down on my head, you little silly? Come here. Usually he wants me to take him down when he does that. You gonna come sit with me or what? What? What, KK? What, KK? What, big boy? What you doing? What you doing? Oh yeah? Tell us all about it.
Don, you need to give the clue again for the movie quote Rosebud is asking for. She and Falcon Sue have no idea so far.
When it rolls around again, maybe I can get Lucy to say it. In this
That would be
world,
funny.
you must be oh so smart or oh so pleasant. Well, for years I was smart. I recommend pleasant. Watch me stump people today. Although you never know, somebody might whip out Chat GPT and just put in part of the quote to get the answer. That's one way to do it. It's on something like that. It's a little bit cheating, but it's okay. Right. Hey boy, what are you doing up there doing that? When you start doing that, you get upset. No, let's not do that. You're okay. You're okay. I love you. You're barking like a dog. I know. Now you got Cecil barking like a dog. Uh-oh, dogatoos. That's an easy language to pick up. Dogs don't have much of a vocabulary. Hey, Kay. Kay. When he starts doing that, he goes to the dark side. Ah, come here. Come, Stevie. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's the matter? You okay? You all right? You okay, big boy? What's the matter? You all right? You all right?
Well, he won't be the newbie anymore.
No, he's pretty much fit into the flock now. I just wish Bob would deal with him. Bob refuses to, but if he's in here, Bob, because KK likes to sit in my lap, I think that's the problem. But if he were just sitting on the rope, there probably wouldn't be an issue. But you want to go see those crows? Did you want to go see the crows? You're gonna have to switch the camera angle. Come on, camera. I'm trying to switch the camera angle here, folks. There we go. That's why I was having trouble switching the camera angle, because I have a couple of umbrellas on me here. Right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. Crows were active today, aren't they? Where are you going? Are you going to go up there again? I don't know. Yeah. So, what are the labels I've heard on this one? Doesn't like to be caged. He's a screamer. Um, Difficult to get him to change his behavior. Now, this is from someone who does a lot of bird rescue. Okay, so being around a lot of birds and trying to find a bird to put in the camera. There we go. I'm a little slow because of the gout, but people would say I'm slow anyway. So you got to look at from the situational point. If you're going to take anything from this, is that it's probably going to take a lot of one-to-one time with him, like it did with pretty much every bird here. I mean, they all had different stories, but when they showed up with me, there were issues. I mean, there was a lot of time with Sugar, 2.5 years, really, where I had to spend extra time and attention with her. Um, Snowball was in a place where they basically rejected him. I mean, they weren't paying attention to him. When I got there to get him, because he would live close to us, the first thing I saw was somebody was sitting on top of a chair and just in the kitchen, and this guy bumped into the chair and he wobbled on the chair a bit, and there wasn't even an excuse me or trying to give him a little pet. Nothing. Treated him like, just get out of my way, like. And so it took a while for him to feel good about himself, I think. But there's a story like that behind every one of them. So when you start dealing with a bird like that for the first time, the most important thing is to watch the behavior. Good grief, this thing's taking a long time to switch cameras. So I'm going to go to the back camera again, because they tend to move around. Yeah, just a bit.
Good day. They're also mobile outside.
So you're going to get the one you hear a lot of it is they bite. I haven't heard this one about him, but if he's a male Moluccan, so he's going to weigh around 1,000 to 1,100 grams, and he's going to have a beak as big as Bander's beak. So that means if he did bite, you try to get him to bite in a spot where it's you can heal a little faster. At my age, that isn't real fast, but you try to not present like the back of your hand where you have vessels that can be broken, that kind of thing. But don't assume they won't, but don't be afraid of it either. Just remember the line from Fight Club. You want to die without any scars? What makes you say that, Cecil? Huh? So you don't want to form a mental picture when they step out of that carrier, right? Because I was hello. I was told with Pippa that she didn't like other people, and and then she flew right into my chest and put her wings around me, and that was, I mean, we formed that bond instantly. I have no idea why, but she just said, "Okay, I'm happy to be with you." I mean, Sugar was pretty much happy to be with me. You could tell she liked the people she was with, and she didn't like the food I was offering her. Yeah, I really want to eat Frosted Flakes, and you're giving me, bird food. Yeah, I'm a queen, and I don't eat that kind of thing. Yeah, so that took a while. There was a bunch of things that had to change about her. I think the food will be okay for this one, but you don't assume. So you put in a huge variety and watch what they eat. Fortunately, I have that variety. So, oh, that was the tail. Was that a tail going across my head? It was. You're going to be good to the Sugar over there. You're a little close. Are you okay? You're barking like a dog? Yeah, you're barking like the next door neighbor dogs. He's barking like the alpha female over there. She barks just that way, and that's Sirius. Yeah, he's picked up her bark. He's barking at the crows. So the crows are excuse me, the ravens. The ravens are barking back at him. Well, in their own way. They're over there watching us in the trees.
We just got a donation from Tiki Tiki of $20, and the message says, "Happy Thanksgiving to all." Thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you.
And thank
That
you.
means we have a little thank you for you.
If I can get there from here. They keep making changes there, and you can't reach where you're trying to go. Here we are. Okay.
I think on the computer it's a little bit better, not so much.
Oh, yeah.
There we are again. So thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Every dollar helps. I just figured out how much if we have to keep giving the medicine to all the birds at the current level, it's going to run about 2,200 a year.
So we have the first guess for the movie from Spirit Matter. Is the movie quote from a Noel Coward movie? Our high school drama teacher used to quote that all the time.
No, I don't. No.
And Rosebud would like to know, is it a kid movie?
No. I'll give you a hint. It was made from a award-winning play. And the play was written by a woman. It's also one of my favorite movies of all time. So, what are you doing, Luce? Huh? Now this one, she's much steadier on her feet, and this one used to like bounce all over the place when I'd bring her outside. But and it's mainly because she has some balance issues. Well, guess what? Now that she's on the medicine, she doesn't have the balance issues. So obviously, part of her nervous system was being affected. So that's why that test is so important, because you might think that the balance that I thought her balance issues were due to the fact that her feathers were torn up, and that I'm sure that had an effect. But a major problem is, AGN.
So it turns out everyone's doing better on the medicine.
Yeah, I have seen nothing but improvement on the birds who are getting it. So, okay. Hi, Cecil. Come here. Come on, boy. It's a Cecil. Suni, it's Cecil.
Cecil.
He's the most popular bird because he actually likes other birds. He likes people and other birds.
And as well as a new flock member in the aviary. Well, he's not got there yet. We have a new flock member online because Tiki Tiki has joined. So welcome, Tiki Tiki.
Oh, welcome, Tiki Tiki. That name always reminds me of the Tiki Tiki house at Disneyland in Anaheim. when I was a kid, we would go in there, and that was the beginning of audio animatronics when they had, birds react, and animals reacting, to music. So, to you too. These all. There's a face for you, Suni.
He
He's
Oh,
looks
got the
lovely.
he's
He's
so
probably
sweet.
happy that Lisa was in chat today.
Mm.
yeah. He's a special boy. This one. He seems to be getting a lot better, but he's on things for his fatty liver disease, which could be exacerbated by the AGN. So that may be the reason he has fatty liver disease, because he wasn't eating the kind of things that you would normally get that from. So
So looks like Spirit Matter knows the movie. He has given a hint in the chat for the others. It's the bunny emoji. And Rosebud is guessing Alive in Wonderland.
I think that's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, I thought that was a joke from the movie title. Okay, it's Alice in Wonderland. I thought
no,
maybe somebody was doing something called Alive in Wonderland.
Well, because it's a rabbit emoji, so it's the white rabbit, isn't it?
yeah. Well, that rabbit image is correct. You do know the movie if you're putting that up. A clue there is it is not the Matrix.
Who killed Roger Rabbit?
Hmm?
Who killed Roger Rabbit?
No. Mm-mm. No, it's a black and white movie.
Yeah, it's an old black and white movie, and I know what movie it isn't, but I don't know what movie it is.
Well, if the rabbit clue didn't get it for you, then it's a movie you need to see. You will like it. It will make you, make you warm inside. It's one of those. There's a great play. I wish I could remember the name of the playwright, what her name was, but she wrote a few, and she won like the award for the best play of the year on that one. So
Mhm.
another clue is the lead actor is James Stewart. Trying to see how much time we have left, and
We got 25 minutes.
yeah, well, I've got a long list of things I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to stick to the same subject because it's so important. But parrots are masters at seeing your tension, because they can see the blood vessels on your skin, the capillary response. So if you're nervous and you approach them in a nervous way, then they're going to see it. And that's no way to approach a bird. Now, that doesn't mean you aren't cautious. I mean, you have a normal caution, which is look to see if they're welcoming you. The feathers on the back of their neck are not standing up by themselves. They're not leaning forward with their beak open. Now, if they're close to you, and they want to come over, it's likely they'll have. That's easy to say up there, big guy. It's likely they'll have their beak open, but that's usually to come over to you. So you have to look, make sure their eyes are not oval. What are you doing? I know
So
they can't hear
Rosebud
you.
and Falcon guessed Harvey the rabbit basically at the same time, and Spirit Matter confirms it's Harvey. So I think we have it. Excellent.
Come here. Come here. Come here. Come. No, no, no. Come. No. No, we're not starting that. Come here. Come here. No, no, no. Come here. Come here. Step up. Step up. No, it's all right. Step up. All right. No, no, no. No, no, no. I don't want you doing that. No, no. Come here. No, 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 no. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. No, we're not going to do that. All right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here. No, no, no. Come here. Come sit with me. Come sit with me. Come on. Come on. It's all right. No, it's all right. I don't know what set you off. It's all right. Here he's gonna scream. Come on. Come on. Come on. No, it's okay. Come on. Calm down. Oh, you got something on your eye. Is that it? Come here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, you can't stay out here and scream. Come on. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Come on. You want to get in the bucket? You want to get in the bucket? You want to get in the bucket? Oh, what a good bird. What a good bird. What a good bird. Rup, rup, rup. Rup, rup. Rup, rup. That was attempting to distract him so that he would stop screaming. Because when he gets in that mode, it becomes repetitive. And it's like in the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, where you see these guys in the asylum and they're going around and doing the same patterns. That's just where he is. So if you don't break that pattern, he'll just stay like that until you change the environment. That's why I took the canvas out of the bucket to see if maybe I could get him into something else. Hi, baby. Hi. 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 Hello. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but you okay? You okay? You all right? Okay, boy. No, I know. I know. I know. I know. Poor boy. Poor boy. No, he's a good bird. He's a good bird. Hi. Hi. What a sweet boy. Yes, he's a sweet boy. He's a sweet boy. He's a good boy. How you doing? How you doing there, KK boy? Uh-uh. KK boy? Hey. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Oh, hello. Hello. Hello, KK. KK Goodbird? Hello. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah, hello. 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 What a good bird. You have to be prepared to do things like that with the newbies too, because see, oh, there he goes again. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Let's try this. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hello. Hello. Hey, baby. Okay now? Hello. What's the matter? What got you started? I don't see what got you started. Something did. Something turned that on. I know. Good boy. So you're going to approach everything like I'm doing with him as a learning experience. Try to show them that they get what they need from you in the circumstances where you're going to go up there again, where they're not secure. And this is, I think, an old insecurity coming out. When I see him do this, he'll hang on the side of the cage and start moving his feet up and down, which is stereotypic behavior. And when he starts doing that, usually what happens is shortly after that, he'll start screaming. So I think that's from being left alone for the last month or two before he came here, because the man who was his caretaker was dying. So not that his caretaker knew that he was dying, but it happens. We all die. So the fact they try to keep away from you in this country, whisk those bodies away before you can see them. Um, Hi, baby, how you doing? And sometimes it's like in that Star Trek movie where it's you have to choose the many or the one. Sometimes it's the one. You have to focus on the one. Cecil, why don't you come over and preen him? That will make him feel better. Cecil's good at that kind of thing. Come on, Cecil. Preen the KK. Preen the KK. KK's preening now. That was what, about 15 minutes of intensity there, trying to get him over to the out of the dark side. Um, so the bird's going to need, when you bring in a new bird, it's going to need to decompress. Now, I've heard it said that, for the first 2 or 3 weeks, you'll get a particular set of behaviors, and they'll all change as if they had their behaviors in a suitcase. And after 2 or 3 weeks, they open up the suitcase and start bringing out old behaviors. That's because they're surrounded by new environment, new food, new interactions, and all that. When you're put in a new environment, it's kind of like when people get a parrot. Okay, they get a parrot and they give it a whole bunch of attention for the first month, and then it starts to wander off, and they start going back to what they do. Worst thing you can do, you're going to bring in a parrot. You always want to give them the same amount of time that you're going to give them later. Sometimes you have to give them a little more, like with sugar to keep her alive, but you want to keep it relatively stable. So, but with a new bird, they're going to be exploring and trying to figure out how far can I, just like a toddler was like, how far can I go? Can I stick my finger in the electric socket? Can I chew this? Can I find a way out of my cage and start to chew the molding? I mean, these are the things that are going to go on for the first few months you have a bird. So be observant, watch their behavior, and see what they're picking up. what in the environment they're intrigued by, what they don't particularly care for, the food they throw out of their bowl. Um, you got to keep your eyes open on all of that. So we may do a part 2 on this for the next video too, because we're running a little bit shy on time now, and I have a lot more I'd like to say. But and the thing is, bear with me. This I got to move this coat up my arm so I can see my notes. So you have to keep things calm, be consistent. Okay, so keep things consistent. Offer water and food without any pressure. So it's not like, here, do you like this? Don't do that. Put like a mixture of different foods, different pellets or whatever in the bowl. If you're only feeding your birds a certain pellet, that's fine. Put it in there. But you, if they've told you that the bird has been eating Zupreme, then you probably need to get some and put it in there for them. So they have some of their familiar food. You can wean them off of it, but you don't want them to look in there and go, what are these rocks doing in my bowl? I mean, kind of the look I get from Harrison's all there. I've got more adopting it now, but I still have to put other things in there, a little rowdy bush, some Missouri, because they've got to eat some pellets. So I've got to get them to do it. And then I try to wean them down to get them to eat mostly the Harrison's, but it's offered in their biscuits and their birdie bread, that kind of thing. So you want to speak softly, move softly, just kind of slow your motion. It's like that old Little Feat song, "Slow the Roll." That's it. You want to just kind of slow the roll. Get that Cheech and Chong kind of attitude going. Like, wow, man, I'm just hanging out with the bird. I'm not saying that you should do any substances. You shouldn't. You should avoid that. I mean, even caffeine might be a problem when you're dealing with a new bird. Says if you're too animated, too energetic, that can be a problem. Mirror them. If they're kind of slow and just taking things in, then you should be slow and taking things in. But if they're kind of moving and grooving, then you can get into the same thing. What do they say? Imitation is the purest form of flattery. So it works for me. I mean, you can see how much they all hate me. So must work. Must be luck, right? That they all seem to get along with me. Um, but that's the way I approach it. The mirroring is really important. So if you've got a bird that's comes in and they're really just energetic, you kind of do it with them. And then if they're calm, you do it with them. And then you can kind of blend your personalities together over time. So yeah, I know, Cecil. That should have one of those blue or purple things hanging on it, right? Yeah, like it's missing something. Yeah, if they see you hovering around the cage and just watching everything and you're being really intense, but they can take that the wrong way too. So, like, we have eyes that face forward, so we're predators, and any animal with eyes on the side of its head is going to think you're a predator because you are. So, better not to do that. You kind of look out of the corner of your eye, see where they are, where they're going when they're in the cage. Um, don't respond if they start screaming. Wait till they get quiet or they say something that gets your attention that you like. Um, there's a lot to have in your head when you're dealing with a new bird, but you don't want to fill your head with a bunch of ideas that keep you constantly staring at the bird. That doesn't work. you have to be able to give them their space, but also be there when they need you. So it's I only took two birds in at this on the same day once, and I got lucky that I made that work. But I like to do them one at a time. I don't know how these rescues do it that bring in a bird. Bringing birds in all the time and going out all the time, and um, you don't have time to even get to know the bird. So just like with KK, I calmed him down, but that's because I developed that attachment over time, where I can kind of tell where he's going, so I can kind of guide him away from some of these behaviors that he really doesn't enjoy himself. He's just reenacting some of his negative behaviors from the past. So the movie Harvey, I know everybody wants to watch this James Stewart movie that, at this time of year and things. So it's such a holiday movie. I think that Harvey's a much better movie. Um, and if you want a good feeling about people, that's the movie. That's definitely the movie. And it's funny, he's got his 6'3" puka that he can see and nobody else can. Well, there's a few that see him, and then you'll get that when you watch the movie. But it's funny, but it's quite endearing too. I don't know there are too many people who could play that part. I think he was a perfect choice for the part. So nobody has seen this movie. Is that what I'm
They
hearing?
have
That
seen
nobody.
it. I think you were busy
Mm.
when I congratulated to the people who guessed it. Spirit Matter knew it, I think, the first, and then Rosebud and Falcon, so also got it.
Hmm. Yeah, sent the puka out. You thought it was a rabbit, and here it was a puka.
Hmm.
Looks like a rabbit.
Where's Mander?
He's back there with Jazz and Snowball doing his
Spider Birdie.
yeah, Skywalker.
Hmm.
He's just being calm
He's such a good bird. And we are all so curious how Mander will react.
to having another boy around. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he
We're gonna
knows just aunties.
we're gonna do part two of this because I'll have more to tell you about what happens with Mango. So we'll do that on the upcoming episode. But it was good for you to see what I did with KK too, where he was losing it. And trust me, when he gets going like that, you can't stop him. If he really gets into that rhythm, he's just like any other inmate in an asylum. You can't break him out of that cycle. So in order to do it, I mean, I've developed a way of working with him to redirect him to a place where he's happy. So got to keep the birds happy, and you have to do that with new birds too. But you got to know when to do it. So you have to work to learn a lot about them. Because that's something for example, most people see him, they wouldn't ever imagine he'd do that. He doesn't do it terribly often, but when he does do it, what do? Right? Change the environment, give him attention, and change the environment. Try to put him somewhere like get the bucket open so he saw the bucket and became interested in that. Divert his attention, and all of that without reinforcing the negative behavior. That's the fun part. And then when you're dealing with a brand new bird, you don't know any of this. You know some of the species specific stuff, right? You know, but they come with their own puka. They have their own 6-foot tall rabbit next to them, and you can't see it. It whispers in their ear what to do. I should probably put that movie on for the new bird to watch. Although they don't tend to like black and white movies, but are you talking to the crows?
Maybe.
Yeah, Cecil's talking to the crows.
It's always nice to chirp with the other birds.
It's kind of what it sounds like, doesn't it, Cecil? Kind of like gargling. Hi, Cecil.
K. And the Cecil.
And Shug's been quiet. We got a whole quiet section down there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice day. The air is clean. The sky is blue.
Yeah, they got all along today.
There's a movie
Also
quote, I
well
bet.
behaved.
Or maybe see if somebody can get this movie quote quick. Blue sky on Mars. It's one of those little takes in there that's a joke about real science in a sci-fi movie. So if not, we'll leave that for next time. We'll talk about that movie. Blue sky on Mars. Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you, Amy and Eleanor, for moderating and hanging out with us and watching KK go through one of his little episodes.
And thank you, Don, for the stream.
My pleasure. We're waiting for Mango. I have no idea. I'm sure she'll show up at the door, and I'll have to get KK inside in his cage because he knows her, and he does not want to go with her. So if he's out of the cage, he will not be pleasant to her. I know that. That's right. That's right, Suni.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to say goodbye? I guess it's going to be KK. You're going to say goodbye to everybody? Okay, KK.
Oh, we'll see you Wednesday, I guess.
We'll see you Wednesday if I still have arms and legs.
We hope so.
Oh,
You never know. Could be a dragon.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.